Alright guys, in today's video we have more PlayStation news and rumors to go over and cover. So before we dive into these topics, do me a big favor, hit that like button to help the video out and show it your support, and hit that subscribe button as well if you are new here to the channel. We're starting here though with a rumor regarding once again a Bloodborne remaster, but if this rumor is to be believed, not only is this Bloodborne remaster releasing later this year on PS5 and PC, but apparently it is a very ambitious remaster, and it's not just going to be a simple up-res with a higher frame rate. So let's go over the information here. It says the leaker behind Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin has come out and said that a Bloodborne remaster is on the way later this year and called the project ambitious. Souls Hunt, the person in question, correctly leaked a number of details about Final Fantasy Origin before they were corroborated by journalists, which gives them some credibility. Back on the remaster, apparently it isn't being developed by Bluepoint or From Software, which is a little surprising. However, a leak last year suggested that Q-Lock were working on the remaster with Bluepoint, so it might just be Q-Lock developing it in reality with Bluepoint not involved or offering advice to the team. Either way, right now, this is just a rumor and should be taken as such, and there's no evidence suggesting we will see a Bloodborne remaster. It would be foolish of Sony to not eventually release one though, as fans are clamoring for it, although as Souls Hunt says, don't go expecting a sequel, with From Software preferring to focus on new IPs. Now, this is very interesting to me because this is one of those things that we continue to hear about, very similar to Metal Gear Solid and even Silent Hill, where it seems like there's always a new rumor every month or two regarding a title like Bloodborne Remastered. However, I would say that a Bloodborne remaster or remake of some sort is something that it kind of just has to happen, right? We know that Sony is embracing PC and trying to release more of their PlayStation 4 exclusives over to PC. Bloodborne is one of these titles that will no doubt sell very, very well on PC. I'm sure that Sony knows this, and I think it would sell very well on PS5 too. I mean, Bloodborne is old enough at this point that the prospect of a full-blown remaster, not something that's, you know, just kind of done very quickly, but something that actually was done in a, as it says here, ambitious way. They're really doing something great with it. I mean, that sounds really exciting to me. I'm a big fan of Bloodborne, and just the thought of playing a Bloodborne remaster on my PS5 that looks and runs as good as Demon's Souls Remake, that sounds absolutely amazing. I know that there are some people who will not be on board with this because they think that Sony should just give a free 60 FPS patch, and I understand that, but again, Bloodborne has been out for some time now, and this is a game that I really do think could shine on the PlayStation 5 getting that remastered treatment. Now, whether or not there's going to be any more than that, you know, we don't know. I mean, this is just a rumor. I've heard a rumor previously that apparently there will be some type of cut content. Now, I definitely would not expect that if this is in fact a real thing, but we know that Sony is apparently prepping for some type of PlayStation event soon, most likely called PlayStation Experience, and it would make a lot of sense that we see this revealed there, and honestly, I can't wait. I really hope this is a true rumor. I hope it comes true. Bloodborne Remastered is something that I would be there day one playing. I really want to see what this game can do on the PlayStation 5. So let me know down in the comments below whether or not you believe this rumor. It seems like it is coming from a somewhat reliable source, somebody that has some type of credibility. And again, we've been hearing this for some time now. So let me know down in the comments below. But moving on from that, we're talking about Death Stranding Directors Cut, as it apparently has been rated by the ESRB, and it confirms a couple things. So it says here, after being revealed a few weeks ago at the Summer Game Fest Kickoff Live event, Death Stranding Director's Cut has now been rated for PS5 by the ESRB. The rating doesn't offer us any details about what we can expect from the game's new content, which was teased back when it was revealed, bar the fact that you can now stealth take down enemies in some stages. Players can perform stealth takedowns on enemies. So the reason why they're highlighting this is because in the original description of the game, this wasn't there. So they're kind of putting a little bit of emphasis on the stealth takedowns, which is pretty cool. Nevertheless, a full reveal is expected for Death Stranding Director's Cut in the next few weeks, likely at Sony's Summer Showcase, with this game being a PS5 exclusive. Given that games tend to get rated a few months before release, it seems like we will see Kojima's latest release sometime this fall, likely around September or October. So given that Horizon Forbidden West will seemingly aim for a November release date. Now, obviously, the end of this article here is just some speculation, but we learned a couple things with this. We learned that, well, obviously it's a PS5 only title. We know that we're going to be getting some type of new content, and apparently in this content we will be able to perform stealth takedowns. Something tells me it's going to obviously be Metal Gear related, which is awesome. And the fact that it's getting rated tells us that this game is just a few months away. So it is likely going to be a fall release or a holiday release, maybe September or October. And we will have this and Horizon Forbidden West to look forward to, hopefully, which is pretty crazy. So it's going to be pretty stacked. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. Moving right along here, we're talking about Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart and how it is apparently selling better in its second week than it did in its first week at UK retail. So after a strong first week of sales, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart has done even better in its second week, gaining the rare honor in the UK of selling more in its second week at retail than its first. As reported by GamesIndustry.biz, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart saw a 2% increase in boxed sales week on week, making Rift Apart the best-selling game for the second week running up. So the reason why this is worth highlighting, and it may not sound that great because it's only 2%, is that this rarely ever happens. Okay, I need to emphasize that. It is extremely rare that a game sells more in its second week than it did in its first, and it's actually a very good sign for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I think we all knew that this game was going to sell well. There were some people who thought that maybe it wouldn't be worth the asking price, but I think all in all, it's safe to say that Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is going to be a big success for Sony and Insomniac Games, and one of the best-selling games on PlayStation 5. It's going to be very interesting when we get more data, but again, this is a very good sign that this game is going to sell really well over time. One thing we've learned with Spider-Man Miles Morales is that a lot of people will wait until they have a PS5 for cross-gen games. Now with Ratchet and Clank, they're not going to have to worry about that because it is a PS5 only title. So I think that there's a lot of people right now who want to play this game and can't yet. They're still waiting to get a PS5, and when they do, they're going to buy it. So I suspect we're going to continue to see Ratchet and Clank on the charts for a while, going forward. So let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. Let me know if you've been playing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart and your thoughts on it. But we're going to talk now about something that, honestly, I really... I kind of have a little bit of a problem with this, but it's not that big of a deal. It has to do with Cyberpunk 2077, and Sony is letting us know that it's making its way back to the PlayStation Store. And what's really weird about it is it sounds like the game still isn't really in a playable state on the base model PS4, which is why I kind of have a problem with this. So it says here on the official PlayStation Twitter, Cyberpunk 2077 is now available at PlayStation Store. Work on the PS4 version continues, with fixes and updates to be released throughout the year. For the best experience on PlayStation, play on a PS4 Pro or PS5 console. This is what they're recommending. And see, that's my problem with this. But all in all, putting my problem with it aside, I'll talk about that in a moment. All in all, I have to say, I'm still very happy that Sony did what they did with Cyberpunk, because they made an example of it. And even though I think, personally, they're bringing it back to the store too soon, I still think that it's been long enough that no publisher with a major AAA release with a lot to potentially lose if they mess it up, no major publisher is going to risk putting an unfinished game out now. And I think that this is why we have to highlight what was done here with Cyberpunk 2077 as ultimately a good thing. Again, it's a little bit disturbing to me that there has to be a warning with this game not to play it on the base PS4. At that point, it just shouldn't release on PS4, or it just shouldn't be coming back to the store yet because it's clearly not ready. But, that's just my personal opinion. Maybe you guys can let me know down in the comments below whether you agree with that. Do you think it's okay for them to be bringing it back to the store but recommending don't play it on the PS4? Or do you think that maybe they should have just held off and not released it until later on when it's 100%. So let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on everything we discussed here today. Make sure you leave the video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.